Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody to the regular board meeting for July 22nd. I ask everybody to please turn off their cell phones and electronic devices. I ask everybody to please stand for the pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This time I ask for a moment of silent reflection, and please keep the young lady pilot from Youngstown in your prayers and her family in your prayers. Thank you very much. This time we would like to open the public hearing for the solar law. Donna?
Please take notice that a public hearing will be held by the town of Lewiston, Niagara County, New York, on the 22nd day of July, 2024, commencing at 6 p.m. at the Town Hall, 1375 Ridge Road, Lewiston, New York, on the adoption of a local law amending the zoning for solar energy law. Said law is intended to modify and update the town's current zoning for solar energy law. The complete text of said law is on file at the office of the town clerk and is available for review by any interested person during business hours. At such public hearing, all persons interested who wish to be heard will be heard. By order of the town board, June 24th, 2024.
Thank you. Does anybody wish to speak in regards to our solar law? Anybody? Okay. Can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
I move we close the public hearing for the solar law.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. At this time, I would like to approve the agenda. I have one addition under town assessor retirement. I also have a town assessor hire. Does anybody else have anything to add to these agendas? Nothing. Al, anything?
Nothing. Thank you.
Do I have any motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, resident statements. We have a large number of people that want to speak. We will limit it to 4 minutes. So you'll have 4 minutes to speak. So with that, we will start with.
Mr. Supervisor?
Yes.
Before you start the public comment meeting, I just want to let everyone know that this is really for the public to provide comment to the town board, not necessarily to ask questions and expect an answer, at least at this point. If you'd like responses to questions that you might provide, please leave your name and phone number and address with the town clerk. Thank you.
Okay, with that, Beth Ann Elias.
Good evening, Town Supervisor Broderick and councilmen and women. My name is Beth Ann Elias. I reside at 595 Morgan Drive in the town of Lewiston. I, along with 3 other representatives, formed a committee. And we represent dozens of families who have been affected recently with sewage and water flooding their basements and their yards. We are here tonight to address the town issues that are affecting our health, safety, our family budgets, our property values, and even our way of life. Many are unable to sleep when the forecast calls for heavy rain or thunderstorms because they are in constant watch, constantly having to check their basement for flooding. I'll try and summarize this the best I can. 1, our sewer infrastructure has collapsed. It did not happen overnight. It has taken decades to deteriorate. We realize you have inherited this issue. Over the years, our town leaders have stood back and watched the slow-moving train wreck, avoiding the hard decisions and expenses that it would take to fix the failed system. Tonight, the bill has come due. There's no more kicking the can down the road. It's time to pay the piper, and the buck stops here. We're sorry you have to pay for the past neglect, but that's what you, as elected officials, have signed up for, and we're counting on you to fix this with both short and long-term solutions. Stop blaming Mother Nature. Roll up your sleeves. It's time to take some responsibility. There are many serious problems, not the least of which is infiltration. After a heavy rain, the wastewater treatment plant is hit with millions of gallons of stormwater that has made its way into the sanitary sewers. The town boards have been told this for almost 30 years. It can be documented. Again, it's not just this board. And yet have done little or nothing to fix the problems. At times, the sewer plant is hit with 3, 4, or 5 times the volume it's designed to handle. Many times, the sewer plant has fire hoses pouring raw sewage down storm pipes that go directly into the Niagara River. But that's not the worst of it. The stormwater creates so much pressure in the sewer lines that the sewage is pushed back into our homes and basements. It's disgusting. We invite you during the next storm to put your boots and rubber gloves on. Bring your Clorox bottle and help us bail out. It will be a real-life eye-opener. But for you, we'd appreciate the extra hands. The recent suggestions that backflow preventers will pacify us is simply wrong. We've done our homework. A backflow preventer keeps contaminated water from mixing with drinking water. A backwater valve is supposed to keep sewage from coming into our homes. We have several people here tonight, one of which is Mia Lord. They have a backflow preventer in their yard. They've been flooded. They don't always work, and the maintenance should not be put on the residents of this town to take care of. It's not our problem. We didn't start the problem. It's been passed along. Okay, problem is that it also prevents the flow of sewage in both directions, and none of us are interested in stopping the use of our toilets, showers, and dishwashers for up to 2 days, waiting for the flood at the wastewater treatment plant to dissipate. Again, it stops it from both ways. You can't flush your toilet, you can't take a shower. At the risk of having us do your job for you, we have a list of suggestions many of our neighborhood members who have been grossly affected would prefer to call them demands. The town needs to immediately institute a program to replace and repair the worst offending sewer lines that are letting in millions of gallons of rainwater. You can use PVC piping to line the old and broken pipes. Start cleaning and jetting the pipes you see are bottlenecks. Check all drainage culverts and pipes visually and with cameras for blockages and remedy the blockage. Address the worst affected areas first. For example, put in a new sewer line from Morgan Drive to the sewer plant to bypass the overload force down Lower River Road. This should be able to be done in less than a year. Be proactive. Start using sewer pump trucks before the flooding occurs and basements are damaged. Institute an immediate moratorium on any new residential or commercial building construction. While we believe that both you and we know that what the problems are, you can hire an independent engineering firm to expedite an investigation and come up with step-by-step recommendations the town can implement. I can bet that will be one study that won't be put on a shelf collecting dust. The report could be done in a matter of a few months. You can renegotiate contracts with other municipalities that use the sewer plant so that everyone is paying their fair share along with penalties for overusages. If the village of Lewiston is a major source of infiltration, then the village should be held responsible for fixing its sewer lines. Start discussing financial options because the ultimate solution will cost millions. Use the $800,000 you get every year from the Power Authority, the $1.5 million you received from the APRA, and use it for capital projects and borrow what you need from the future Power Authority proceeds. It wouldn't cost the local taxpayers a cent. Let's not forget about what the developers have to pay up front for all the new developments, referred to as I&I. And if the situation calls for raising taxes, go ahead. It's cheaper than paying thousands of dollars in cleanup costs, lost furniture and clothes, irreplaceable heirlooms and pictures. You can fix the problem, or we can all start sending you our cleanup and damage bills because we can prove you are responsible for this mess. I personally suggest that you set up a fund to reimburse any residents that can prove damages along with documentation and bills. None of us want to be here. We have stayed here or moved to Lewiston and its surrounding areas because we love this town and we want to live in a clean, safe, and healthy community. We shouldn't have to beg our community leaders, our elected leaders, who promised to look out for our well-being, to do the job they were elected to do. Now's the time to show us your resolve in helping us. Now is the time to show us your plan for fixing this ongoing disaster. We want to work with you, thus the suggestions and are optimistic that together we can create the clean and bright future that all of us in Lewiston and the surrounding areas have worked so hard for. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you give Donna that right?
She does that.
Okay, thank you. Margie Walmsley Stromback.
Glenn, thank you for your time. I understand based on the comment that was made that the questions that I have, I will leave with contact information. But this is some information that our group is looking for answers for. So question number 1, have you discharged raw sewer, either or both into the storm drains or directly into the lower Niagara River? If so, when? Number 2, have you been in contact with the town engineer? Has he or they looked into the problem? If so, have they come up with a solution? Where can we find the report? Number 3, do you have a schedule for maintenance of both drainage and sewer pipes? If so, is the public able to view it? Number 4, do you have any plans in writing to replace or repair sewer lines at this time? Number 5, you receive money under the I&I plan for each new development, and we have had a lot of new developments. So how much have you received in the past 5 years, and what have you used it for? Is there a record available for the public to view? I will add my contact information and then I will pass that along.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, I guess you have a copy of this, but
Mark Elias, 595 Morgan Drive.
Thank you for the time, everybody. Again, I will do the same as Margie will get these questions to the clerk with my contact info. You said you've made improvements to the wastewater treatment plant in the past 15 years. What exactly have you done other than the upgrade to the electrical to help the plant? Are there documents available for the public to view? Where are the pumping stations located throughout the town? We would like to see a map of that. Is there a plan for temporary storage during high flow events? What operational and equipment changes will be made to the Lewiston sewer and stormwater systems? Will you implement a program for residents to be reimbursed that have been financially impacted by this issue? Those are my questions from the group. I have a personal.
You can give those to Donna. We know I think we've got some emails. We know how to get a hold of you. So
Okay.
if you want to give it to Donna, please.
And now I have one personal thing to add. As a member of the group, I would like to know, I would like to request the board implement a 2-year minimum moratorium on building, residential and commercial building. And we look forward to your individual answers next month.
Okay.
Thank you.
She has.
You have it, right?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful to be here.
Mia Laurie, 533 Morgan Drive.
Good evening, everybody. I'm speaking on behalf of my husband and I. We've resided in our home for 34 years. In 29 of those years, we've had flooding. And Doc just wrote down a few things. In spite of the following changes to our house, we have continued to flood to varying degrees over the past 5 to 10 years, being worse. Capped and sealed any floor drains, added second backup sump pump regularly cleaned and maintained the gutters, diverted the downspouts underground where they empty to the ground 15 feet from the foundation, thousands of dollars for yard drainage that would get directly into the storm sewer near the street, which with multiple drain grates put in, installed a check valve, not on our front yard, we decided to put it in the basement. The check valve is to the sanitary sewer line that exits the house. Despite this, we have had water come through where the wall meets the floor, overwhelmed due to the high water pressure. Burned out our sump pump in January. The firemen had come and pump us out. It was to the second basement stair. And it has resulted in the loss of multiple washers, dryers over the years, as well as luggage, clothes, and other items. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Hannah Davis, 5330 Town Line Road, Sanborn.
Good evening, members. I'm here to pass out some more information concerning the haunted hayride that is on next to my property on Town Line Road. I'll pass these out. It's updated information.
Sarah, I'll pass it.
It's very self-explanatory. What I have done
Kim,
is
you have
outline the ecotourism sheets that I received from the state. I've contacted the state and the county for information concerning this. Mr. King is not ecotourism. He has made his whole property basically into an amusement park, which he advertises as it being a tourist attraction for Niagara County. Thank you, Mr. Myers, for contacting me and giving me a very nice phone call. I appreciate it very much. I've been in contact numerous times with Tim Masters and you also, Mr. Broderick, who have helped me and have cleared up a lot of questions that I've had. I have now contacted the county and they say to please put more pressure on him, because if he gets pressure on him, then he will be dealt with more. Basically, my next question, I have a question. The updated codes would have helped in the process of closing him down or not letting him start. And I was just wondering, is there any progress on the updated codes concerning this situation of ecotourism or his commercial property, which he runs 3 businesses out of, and they're all LLC, including the haunted hayride and the nightmares. He is now posted, if you look through your pamphlet, he's hiring. He's doing numerous hiring. He has, I don't know if you're aware of the property, but he has basically tore up. There's a bounce pad, there is a goat farm now, and me being an old farmer, I was wondering if I should be able to ask for immunization records from one transport to another farm, because it's right on the border of my property. Being an old horse person, we used to have to do that. Basically, my biggest concern is, have the codes been updated to where he can be more than just fine? Because this has to stop. They're ruining the neighborhood. None of the neighbors will come. I've explained that before, but if something can be done to stop him through the county and the state, which I've talked to repeatedly, especially this past month, Mr. Masters knows this, please do something to stop this, because it is not something that's agritourism, it's a carnival. It's a carnival. You can do that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mark Nicolette.
Yes?
You wanted to speak?
Oh, no, I don't need to speak.
Oh, okay, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Fran Klein, is it? you wish to speak?
No, thank you.
Okay. And Nancy Vidra?
No, we thought it was a signage.
Okay, okay. I want to thank everybody for speaking. I just want to say we're aware that there's a problem. We're aware there's a problem in several areas. I think I visited every neighborhood that there's a problem. From Morgan Farms to Lewiston Park to Forest and Woodland. And we are absolutely looking into ways to improve our drainage. I know Jeff Ritter went to the meeting last Monday. I couldn't make it. Rob Morrell was there, John Jacoby was there, and Sarah Leckner was there. I know Jeff left his card for everybody. I will tell you this, if anybody wants to contact Jeff Ritter, I can promise you Jeff, Tim Masters, and the highway department will come out and take a look at your situation and see if there's anything they can do. I know we helped out an individual at the corner of Morgan and Fifth Street, and I believe most of her issues are resolved. So I can tell you we're always looking to improve it, and we will do a home visit and come look. And we're not forcing anybody to get a backflow preventer. If you don't want to get a backflow preventer, don't get a backflow preventer. But it's just another step to hopefully help the situation. And like I said, we're looking at covering the cost of about $2,000 of the backflow preventer. That's the number that's there. If you don't want to get one, somebody asked me if we're forcing people to get one. We're not forcing anybody to do anything. So if you don't want one, you don't want one. So, but please get a hold of Jeff Ritter, myself, Tim Masters, or Mitch Zano, and we'll come out to the house and assist you any way we can.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, you speak.
Excuse me, Supervisor, but maybe you misunderstood what we said. This has been going on for decades. I don't think these individuals are going to be able to solve this problem with a phone call.
Well, they might be able to help. We helped an individual already.
You did help one person, I'm aware of
Well,
that. We don't know if it worked yet, because we haven't had rain since it was done.
Well, I guarantee you the sump pump's gonna go into the drain where it's supposed to, where it wasn't able to before.
May as well.
So,
Yeah. Just go
Okay.
there. But our
You can call
problem
me-
is sewage.
You can call
okay?
me anytime you want.
Okay,
So,
but again, our
okay,
problem is
is it-
bigger than talking to you individually. Our problem is town-wide with a beat-up infrastructure
Yep.
that needs to be taken care of. Or a wastewater treatment plant that needs to be, have greater volume.
It's not town-wide, but there's definitely, we know the issues, we know where
It's
they're
all,
at.
it's throughout the
We
town.
know
Maybe
where
not
they're at.
every residence, but it's
Yep.
throughout the town.
Yep.
Not just Morgan Farms.
So, with that, we'll move on to department head statements. So, Donna, anything? Chief, anything?
I'm gonna do the purchase.
Go ahead.
So, I have, 6 items that I'm looking, I provided the board with the paperwork, that I'm looking for approval of purchase. It's pursuant to the law enforcement technology grant that we received. First I reviewed all of these with the town attorney, Mr. Bax, and if you have any questions, you can certainly address those. The first I'll deal with is the New York State bid one, pretty self-explanatory, that's a set price. I'm looking for approval for 5 Dell computers, that's with the dock stations, that goes into vehicles, for the price listed. And again, that's a state price, bid price of $16,093.60. The next is.
Hold on, we're gonna do one at a time.
Oh, okay.
So that's all 5 computers are $16,093.60.
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a motion? And Al, you conferred with them? the chief?
Yes, these are state bid and going for 3 bids.
Okay. So can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion that we approve the purchase of 5 computers.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Mr. Supervisor, the contract number is on the sheet that the chief has provided.
Okay, for the record, it's contract number PM 20820.
For the next, I'll do the sole source, if that's okay, the proprietary. There's 3 items on there, again, I reviewed those with our town attorney. There's 3 Axon, that's to do the interview rooms, that's proprietary, we already have all our stuff through Axon, and the storage actually is the biggest part, we already have unlimited storage through them. We can't do that for anybody else. The Axon tagging for the body cameras is something that we already do have. We have the body cameras. This is just something that automatically tags it with the radio call so that the officers don't have to put in the nature of the call and auto tag it so that they can't make a mistake putting that in. So it's just to enhance something that we already have. And the other is a Bosch crash data, is when we investigate crashes, that's what plugs into the black box in the vehicle that allows us to download the data. This is the only model that will do all of the vehicles. Other ones are proprietary, they only do certain ones. This one does all of them, they're the only one that does that. So the Axon interview rooms, there's 3 interview rooms. Actually, it's 2 interview rooms, and the other one we're gonna do is booking. Right now, we have to take the body cameras, when we take them in there, fingerprint them, if we detain them, put them on the bench, we take the body cameras and put them on the wall, so we get it this way, we'll just be able to capture that. So the 3 Axon interview rooms, a total of $65,951.53. The Axon tagging for the body cameras is $18,498 even, and the Bosch crash download data, $5,750.
I make a motion, we approve the purchase as presented by the chief.
We have a motion and a second. I have a question.
Yes.
This is the grant, right? This
Yes.
is covered by the grant.
Correct.
Okay.
It's all out of the law
Yeah,
enforcement.
just to confirm, sole source?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Anybody else have any questions? Sir?
And the rationale behind the sole source is that the Axiom, software that we're already running, we're not running any other additions, you have to go back to the same company.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Lastly, for the board's consideration is 3 items for purchase. Due to the amount, those 3 quotes requested were verbal, but I did get 3 written quotes for these items, and I provided them to the clerk. In each of these instances, it's the lowest quote that we went with. Some of them, the one for the actual camera system is considerably lower. So the purchase for the 3 quotes, again, provided to the town clerk, is 1 DJI Matrix 30T drone for $13,310, and 1 Flock Flex LPR camera system for $3,500.
I make the motion that we approve the purchase as presented by the chief. Second.
We have a motion and a second. I have a question again. This is also covered by the grant?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just so everybody knows, this was a grant that the chief went after from New York State, right?
Yes, and he said in PCGS.
And he qualified and got a grant for, correct me if I'm wrong, $450,000?
$495,000.
$495,000. So this is all free to the Lewiston Police Department through grants, so great job there. Anybody have any questions? It can't be used for a sewer.
I just have a question. Operating for the drone, do you have to have a certified operator?
Yes, and that is included in the price for training. It's an FAA
Yeah,
certification that we have to obtain.
Okay, and it will be one of your officers that will have that training?
Yes, it'll be an officer, and it'll be somebody, it'll be a couple officers that we have planned in this as well, that will also be able to carry them in the cockpit. So if we get something that's instant deployment, we get a missing person or somebody that we have to look for in the field or something.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tim? Anything? Dan Zano, anything? Nothing? Jackie, you're on the agenda. Deputy Supervisor Conrad? Mitch?
Yes. I gave each one of you a list of 3 different companies for quotes on that F-250 with service box. And with Van Mortel, Nielsen Ford, and DeLacy. And I was looking to go with Van Tel Ford. They were the cheapest. It was $123,321.16 for the 2 trucks with the boxes put on.
Just a quick question, Jackie. This was in the budget?
This was in the 2024 budget, yes.
It was.
Yeah.
This is actually coming in lower than what we had intended.
Okay. So can I get a motion to purchase 2 Ford XLF 250s at $61,660.58 apiece for a total of $123,321.16.
Yeah, a motion.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Go ahead.
Okay, and second of all, I'm looking to replace the plow truck that we have, it's 20 years old. The truck will be around $300,000 to replace, and I'm looking to get the approval to get something ordered. It will be at least a year or longer to get it.
So Jackie and I, talked about this with Mitch. We moved $300,000 within the, highway fund balance. We didn't, it's not a budget adjustment or anything like that, it's just, we moved it from, what's the terminology, Jackie, again?
Unassigned to assigned.
Assigned. So it is in the fund balance of the highway department. So with that, I would ask for a motion to allow, Mitch Zango to pursue the purchase of a new plow truck.
I second that.
Any questions for Mitch? Unfortunately, they take about a year and a half.
Every year and a half, last one was 2.5.
Yeah, so hopefully the time is better now, but, yeah. So we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
And I forgot to mention, Rob Morial is on vacation, but he is on Zoom. He can't vote on anything, but he is paying attention to the meeting on Zoom, and, I appreciate it. Jeff Ritter, anything?
Well, I really don't have anything to say, but I'd be, very happy to talk to any homeowners that have problems with water coming in from their sewer. Okay, I think there's a lot of discrepancy between stormwater and sanitary sewer. Okay, they're not supposed to be together at any way, shape, or form. Okay, it's very disheartening to be flooding people's basements. And definitely feel bad for somebody, and we want to try to help them out the best that we can. Okay, I don't see any quick fixes for anything except maybe for a backflow preventer type of situation. Okay, there's a lot of calls that we went on in the last couple of rainstorms, and I mean, we did have 2 100-year rain events, one in January 26th and one on the 18th of last month. Very uncommon, okay? And there's not a wastewater treatment plant in the state of New York that doesn't bypass during a rain event, okay? Not one. That water's all chlorinated, and it is what we call primary settled before it goes out. Everything is sampled and has to go by DEC standards, okay? Getting water in somebody's house is something that we try to be proactive at, and that we'll try the best we can, okay? But I'd like everybody to get a hold of me one-on-one and not some kind of a mob mentality type of thing. So I think everybody knows the number down at the plant. If not, it's in the phone book. You call up Don and she'll give it to you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah,
No. You can call him, you can get hold of him.
It was a question and a message for the community,
Yeah.
not just for.
Melinda?
Yes, lots going on at the senior center again this month. Everybody got their copy of the newsletter, stop by, see us. We also are excited to announce that we have citizens preparedness support. The governor has, people coming out, and if you pre-register, you'll get this packet of backpack full of emergency supplies, so you're ready in the event of some kind of other emergency. I'm thinking like snow, blizzard, tornado, whatever might come our way these days. But check your newsletter, lots of fun things planned. On Friday, we had a lovely concert provided by the Barroom Buzzers, which was very delightful. It's a grant that is awarded to senior centers in Niagara and Erie County, and we're one of the places they come to. It's provided by the Barrett Foundation, so they came last year and they came again this
say this at every meeting, I don't know if anybody's gone by the senior center during the day. We're almost at a be careful what you wish for situation, because when Melinda came on board, we wanted to promote the senior center. We wanted it to be active, we wanted people to utilize it, we wanted younger seniors, we wanted, different groups and organizations. And it's like, be careful what you wish for, because the senior center has never been this busy. The parking lot is full. I know I think it's chair yoga, you have to turn people away. And it's not as easy as just scheduling more, because we have other events that occur after chair yoga. So Melinda, great job. I mean, we continue to grow, and I'm one who's in favor eventually of a community center that would, have a newer senior center, but unfortunately we don't have property right now to do that, but it's always something we're looking into. But great job at the senior center. Check it out. I know a lot of people hate to admit you become a senior, and I've been there at lunchtime, and there's two individuals there that are my age, and they enjoy it. They have lunch there, and they socialize, and I'm 59 years old. I'm not ready to admit I'm a senior, but yeah, please check it out. Tim Smith.
Thank you, sir. Just wrapping up our baseball softball season. Next 2 weeks, camps are going strong right now. Our 3 camps are full every day, so kids are enjoying that. Mondays right now we got our pickleball leagues. Tuesday cornhole leagues are going on. Saturdays are yoga at our Riverfront Park, which is absolutely beautiful. Monday and Wednesdays 6 to 7 we are doing Get Strong Healthy boot camp. That's for beginners too. It's nothing that's out of the ordinary, or not that anybody can't do it. Please try that. We have a certified trainer doing that for us as well. All free to the public too, so all town Lewiston residents are more than welcome to come. And the one that I do want to push is August 24th at Kiwanis from 11 to 2. We are doing a Town of Lewiston Luau, which will have a cookout, a bunch of games and activities. It's a big fun family friendly event, and again, it's free to all Town of Lewiston residents. Hope everybody can make it.
Thank you, Tim. I think I got everybody. We already talked about truck purchase. Approval of meeting minutes for the regular town board on May 30th.
I had a chance to review both the 24th and May 30th minutes, and I make a motion that we approve the
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions on either meeting minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Audit payment, Councilwoman White.
Yes, I have for July 8th, 2024, I move to approve the regular abstract of claims from 24-01606 through 24-01769, and recommend payment in the amount of $698,975.16, plus a post audit of 0.
Motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And now I have the second one, which is from July 22nd, 2024. I move to approve the regular abstract of claims 24-01770 through 24-01939, and recommend the payment in amount of $288,020.99, with a post audit of $9,337.89.
Motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Nothing under pending or old business, new business? Done any residents' public correspondence? Okay. Under my liaison report, I'm going to read a letter from a Miss Linda Johnson, our town assessor. Please be advised that I have applied with the New York State Retirement System for my retirement. After filing the application and submitting all the necessary documentation, July 31st, 2024 has been established as my official retirement date. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the town of Lewiston for the opportunity to serve as their assessor clerk and as the appointed assessor for the past 24 years at the 24 years. With the approval of the town board members, I will stay on as the acting assessor until my replacement has been approved and appointed by the supervisor and town board members. To assist and train my replacement, I will agree to continue to work at an agreed upon compensation and number of hours each week in an effort to help make this a successful transition for the assessors department and for the town of Lewiston. Respectfully submitted, Linda Johnson, assessor. So with that, I would ask for a motion to accept Linda's retirement notice with regret.
I make that motion.
Second with regret.
Yeah, so I did, I make regret.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Congratulations, Linda. And with that being said, this is from Linda Johnson, and Linda has a budget, basically her salary. So what she has to do is she would like to hire Nicholas Bucco, starting Monday, July 29th, 2024. After review of the Niagara County assessors and staff salary, the new hire Nicholas Bucco, once appointed, would be the acting assessor at a starting salary of $50,000. Mr. Bucco will be taking all the necessary training courses and continuing education classes and has 2 years to be certified. During this time, he will be part of the current revaluation project, and I will be training and assisting as needed. Once he is certified, assessor's average salary for a town with parcels exceeding 7,000 plus salaries can be approximately $60,000 and up, and also has additional staff. So with that, I would ask for a motion to appoint Nicholas Bucco, the new town assessor, effective Monday, July 29th, at a starting salary of $50,000.
I'll make that motion that we appoint Nicholas Bucco.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Just a quick question. You picked them out, I mean, you searched in and reviewed them, and I don't mean pick them out, but.
So everybody knows here too, working with Rob Morial, and, let Steve know, in the last year, I've worked with our county and state, because we have, believe it or not,
Right.
in excess of 5 to 6 assessors who are retiring out
Yes.
in Niagara County. So what I did was I put feelers out in the county and, other DAR and people who have worked within municipalities, advised me to meet with this. I've met with a few, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
And when I met with him, we went over information. I had him bring in a resume, also fill out the state minimum qualification. I then submitted that to the state to approve him, which they did, and then brought it to the town. And I strongly believe moving forward, it's not just gonna be the town of Lewiston that's gonna be bringing younger, more people in to be trained, because we don't have them. So hopefully, the vetting that we did, he's all open to everything we've gone over, and I sat with Steve and Rob, and he will start, like I said, under the state requirements, and we will move him along as quickly as possible. He is walking in at a time of reval, which I really strongly feel is a good time, because he'll start right from the bottom with the company and get us to where we need to be, but at the same time, we'll need that assistance and help to move forward and bring us where we can.
Well, he's got some big shoes to fill.
Thank you.
So if he's got your seal of approval, at least initially.
Thank you very much, I appreciate that.
So with that, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now also, I would ask for a motion to have Linda Johnson stay on as a consultant at $28 an hour. It'll be 3 to 4 days a week, hours and days to be determined based on the need of the acting assessor and the reval project schedule. And like I said, I talked with Jackie, it will be basically in her budget what her salary was minus the $50,000, and it will not exceed that amount. So I'd ask for a motion to continue with Linda Johnson as a consultant after July 31st at $28 an hour.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Goodbye and hello, Linda. And then then Assessment Review Board, alternate member appointment. Linda, do you wanna?
Yeah, I spoke with the guard team, and usually I always kept a minimum of 5 people, because 3 is a quorum. And we spoke with the revale coming in, and I said to them, I thought that we needed an alternate, and they agreed with me. Because depending on the days when they do this, it's an odd number you're supposed to have. So the individual I asked to step in as an alternate is Carl Frankovich, and he's an attorney, to be called in when needed, when the revale goes on.
Okay, so I'll read this letter from Linda Johnson. It says, please add, to the agenda, I would like to request that Carl Frankovich, attorney, be added as an alternate board of review member to our grievance board. We have always kept a diverse group, which has worked out well, and as we enter into a revale project, I have given this much thought and discussed it with our team of people who will be involved in the project. They feel that this would be a good idea to have backup ready as well. So I would ask for a motion to install Carl Frankovich as an alternate board of review member to the grievance board. We have a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Are we done with you, Linda?
Not completely.
That's the most you've ever sent to the town board before. Environmental Commission. So, one of the things that we looked at is we had an extra board, the Environmental Commission, and it's just another form of government that individuals had to go through in certain projects. So what we decided to do was, eventually, we're going to do, we're in the process, we're gonna abolish the Environmental Commission, but we're also gonna change our planning board to the Planning and Environmental Commission board. So, we're not getting rid of environmental. Anything that needs an environmental review will be done by our planning board. We've put some members on our planning board from the Environmental Commission, and I feel comfortable that our current planning board will be able to handle any environmental issues. We're doing nothing tonight. I just wanted to make that statement, that is the process. I believe for the August meeting, we will have, I believe it's a local law, correct?
It'll be a draft local law.
Draft local law. We just have to make sure with all our codes and everything, anything had to go before environmental, we'll now say we'll have to go before planning and environmental. So with that, I just wanted to make mention of that. Right of entry, the Department of the Army requests a right of entry with the USRAP Niagara Falls storage site. It's actually to our sewer plant. Jeff, did you get a chance to look at that?
No, what is it again?
So basically, well, I'll read it. The other side here, after call the owner in consideration of mutual benefits of the work described below, hereby grants the United States of America. Here and after called the government the right of entry upon the following terms and conditions. The owner hereby grants to the government an irrevocable and assignable right to enter in or on, over, and across the land described in Exhibit A. Exhibit A is the sewer plant. This right of entry is granted for purposes of performing surveys and investigation, collecting samples and making test borings, and remediating radiological and chemical contamination of soils, groundwater, and structures, including but not limited to the right to store, move, and remove equipment and supplies, erect and remove temporary structures on the land, investigate and collect samples, construct, operate, maintain, repair, replace, and remove groundwater monitoring wells, groundwater purification injection systems, and other devices for the monitoring and treatment of contamination in soil, air, and water, and perform such other work as may be necessary. An incident to implementation of the formerly utilized sites remedial action program for the life of the project. Upon completion of the project, USACE will notify the landowner of completion in writing, ending all rights to the property for USAS described in this agreement. Are you comfortable with that, Jeff? Because we talked about it.
I am, and I'm sorry I didn't remember it right off the bat. The subcontractor for the government has already come and put one of these samplers in the plant.
Right.
And they come like twice a week to maintain it and check its filters, but we have no problem with that.
Okay, so basically, we would be approving, I would look for a motion to approve the right of entry for the Department of the Army under the FUSRAP at the Niagara Falls storage site, and for the supervisor to sign the contract.
I'll make the motion to grant the right of entry.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Make a second motion that we give the supervisor permission to sign the document.
Steve, I didn't see that document, but is that also for the town property?
No, this is
Not.
just for,
Okay.
yeah. So we have a motion and a second. Any questions on that? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Don, that was for me to sign. So we met with a village, a town-village joint meeting to discuss the police contract. We haven't had a police contract, a valid police contract, since 1995 or 96. They worked on one in 2012, it never got finalized and signed. So with that, we met with the board, and what we decided was we would establish a committee to continue talks about getting a new contract and signing it. So I would ask for a motion to have John Jacoby and myself, along with Al Bax, be on the town committee to represent the town in negotiations with the village.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And then we'll set up some dates and we'll have some meetings. Under legal executive session, consultative attorney, that's at the end of the meeting?
That's correct.
Okay. Engineering, Oak Hill subdivision, Hillside Drive drainage. I talked with, I'll start off, Bob. I talked with Bob last week about an issue at Oak Hill subdivision. We've had several houses flood at the bottom of Oak Hill on Hillside. We've had some issues down Cliff, and I believe Orchard, and we pulled out the plans for Oak Hill subdivision, and those plans were 93 or even older than that. And there was a whole design for drainage, engineered drainage for that subdivision. And it would go along the old railroad line, and it would head east towards Cliff, and then north to Ridge Road and proceed north. None of it was done. So we have houses on Oak Hill, which shouldn't be there without this drainage, but they are. I call it sins of the past. So the town is going to move forward to make it right and correct the drainage, and we're gonna work with Bob Landon. We have engineered drawings from a previous engineer, but we are gonna work with Bob Landon, and we are going to get engineered and put the drainage that was required by the plan of 1993 that wasn't done, and we're gonna move forward and get it done. So I just wanted, there's gonna be no decision other than Bob moving forward. I don't think there's any board resolution that needs to occur. Bob's working with me, he gave me a plan of attack, and just waiting to get a bid for it, and we'll move forward on that. So we're not prepared to make any decision tonight, but hopefully that'll take care of a lot of homes on Hillside Drive, Cliff, and Ridge Road. So we're moving forward with that. And then finance, Jackie?
Yes, I previously submitted 4 budget revisions in your board packets, and tonight I asked for approval.
Hold on a second.
of those.
You speak at the end of the meeting. We have another opportunity for you to speak at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, sorry, Jim.
That's okay, that's okay. The 4 budget revisions that I put into your packets, I asked for approval of those tonight.
I had a chance to sit down with Jackie this afternoon, and she went through it with me, and I want to make a motion that we accept it as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
I'd also ask for approval to hire a junior accountant for the vacant position. I'd like to hire Isaiah Milne, $23 an hour, starting on 7/29.
I also had a chance to sit down with Jackie about this hire, and it seems to be a very highly qualified young man. we find addition to the finance. And I'd like to make a motion that we approve the hiring.
We have a motion and a second to hire Isaiah Minimum at a rate of $23 an hour for 30 hours per week, effective July 29th, 2024. Any more questions of Jackie? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
At the last board meeting, we approved to move H97 money for 2 projects into the highway. We have decided to charge H97 directly for those projects instead of making the transfer.
So what Jackie needs is a motion to rescind the transfer of $100,000 from H97 to the highway fund, and to rescind the $50,000 from H97. Doesn't change the project, it just changes where the money's coming from.
That also was explained to me today, and I make a motion that we approve.
We have a motion and a second to rescind both of those resolutions. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I also have our audit presentation. Oh, they're there. Director Malecki would like to present our 2023 audit.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Nick will pass out the presentations here. My name is Erica Antler. I am a director with Drescher and Malecki. Here with me is Nick Petronic. He is the manager serving on this year's financial statement audit. I'm here to present to you the results of the December 31st, 2023 audit presentation. On the first slide in the packet in front of you just takes a look at what I will talk about tonight. We'll go through some of the required auditor communications, a financial statement updates of some of the numbers for year end, and then just conclude with some of the observations. On slide 2, your auditor communication letter is a required communication that we have with every audit that we perform. It should be familiar to you from year to year. This letter outlines what our responsibilities are as your auditors. Our responsibilities are to develop tests and perform the audit so that the numbers within the financial statements can be reasonably relied on and free of material misstatement. We also discussed some of the significant accounting policies of the town. Had there been any significant changes, we will communicate those with you tonight. There were no significant changes. The town did adopt one new governmental accounting standards board statement that was required of the town. All governments had to implement it this year. It brings certain subscription assets onto the books. It does not change how you account for them. It does not change how you pay for them. It does not change or impact your fund balance. It will just present differently within your financial statements. Significant accounting estimates. Financial statements do include certain estimates that is common in a governmental financial statement. The estimates are your compensated absences liability, so sick and vacation, other post-employment benefits liability, that is health insurance for retirees, and then also the net pension liability. That estimate comes directly from New York State and relates to the state pension system. Our responsibility is to evaluate the inputs that go into those estimates, and we have concluded that they are reasonable. Independence is probably the most important thing that you're looking for in an external audit. Everyone in our firm, whether we have worked on the audit or not, has signed off as being independent of the town, so no issues as to independence. And then any other matters, had we had any disagreements with management, had we had any scope limitations, we would discuss those with you. We had full cooperation of everyone that we came in contact with. A very smooth audit, so nothing to report there. And then moving on to some of the financial statement updates. If you flip to slide 4, this presents a 5-year trend of the general fund, revenues versus expenditures. So the red line there represents expenditures versus the green line, which represents revenues. This year, the green line, the revenues exceeded expenditures in the general fund, resulting in an increase in fund balance of $154,000. Revenues had a slight increase compared to the prior year. The town had the benefit of some additional interest earnings compared to the previous year. On the expenditure side of things, expenditures did increase. If you recall, last year there was a large transfer out of the general fund to the capital fund. There was not that transfer to that such an extent this year, and that resulted in a decrease in expenditures for the town. So again, that slight increase in general fund balance about $155,000. If you flip to page 5, you can see a bar graph here, which is the total fund balance of the town for the past 5 years. You can see that increase in 2023 to a total ending fund balance of December 31st of $2.2 million in the general fund. That mint green section represents assigned fund balance, so that's fund balance that is considered to be earmarked for certain purposes. The red section is non-spendable or restricted fund balance, just a sliver there of certain assets or prepaid items that are tied up, they weren't even used, so they were not available to the town. And that leaves the remaining blue section, $1,469,000 to be your unassigned fund balance of the general fund at year end. That represents 47.5% of expenditures, similar to the prior year in that percentage. Moving on to slide 6 and shifting funds. This slide presents the general outside village fund revenues versus expenditures for the past 5 years. This fund had a decrease in overall fund balance of about $264,000. Last year, revenues were high in this fund due to the recognition of the American Rescue Plan funds. So there was a higher federal aid last year. It was about $675,000 higher than in the current year. That's due to that one-time money coming in from the federal government. Again, on the expenditure side of things, expenditures did decrease in this fund, similar to the general fund because of the reduced transfer out to the capital projects fund. As I mentioned, that resulted in a decrease in fund balance of $264,000. If you flip to slide 7, you can see that bar graph of the fund balances of the general town outside village fund. Ending fund balance here, $2,256,000. Again, the red and the green portions represent certain fund balances tied up for the prepaid items, certain budgetary assignments that is intended to use in the 2024 budget, purchase orders that existed at year end that carry over to the next year, and all of that results then in the navy section, which is considered to be assigned for specific use, so essentially available fund balance to be used for the town outside village fund of $1.6 million, and that represents about 42.8% of total fund balance compared to the current year expenditures. Moving on to the highway fund on slide 8. The green revenue line increased this year by about $389,000. Again, favorable interest rates, that was an increase of about $31,000 compared to the prior year. And this fund also sees the benefits of increasing sales tax year over year. That was an increase of about $335,000 for sales tax revenue compared to prior years. On the expenditure side of things, there was a decrease in expenditures. Last year had some higher infrastructure costs and equipment costs, and those did not occur in the current year, resulting in a decrease in expenditures. Overall, this fund had a fund balance increase of $675,000, bringing total fund balance on slide 9 to $1.8 million. Available fund balance, the dark blue section, $1,230,000 assigned for specific use to the highway fund. You can see that green section did increase compared to the prior year. The town has assigned certain fund balance to be used for equipment purchases in future years. So about $375,000 of fund balance has been earmarked for equipment purchases. Moving on to your water district fund, slide 10. Total revenues increased in this fund by about $214,000. There was an increase in meter water sales associated with a rate change, interest earnings again in this fund, and a slight increase in overall real property taxes. On the expenditure side of things, expenditures did increase. Much of that was tied up in additional principal and interest payments due to new debt related to this fund. Total fund balance for the water district fund increased $255,000. Slide 11 presents total water district fund $2.1 million. Assigned for specific use represents the majority of that. For an infrastructure heavy fund, we're useful to have that available fund balance. Items in this fund tend to cost a lot of money, so planning for the future is good to have a healthy fund balance there. And then lastly, we'll take a look at the sewer district fund, slide 12. This year revenues outpaced expenditures, resulting in an overall fund balance increase of $118,000. Interest earnings did increase in this fund as well. And this fund did have a decrease in overall expenditures. There were some benefits of gas savings that helped quite a bit in this fund to decrease those expenditures. Again, $118,000 increase in fund balance. Slide 13 represents how that fund balance is broken out. 1.7 or $1.8 million is assigned. Again, there has been earmarked money in this fund by the supervisor for future capital improvements and infrastructure purchases, leaving about $1.8 million in that assigned for specific use, that available fund balance related to the sewer district fund. And then just observations. Right now the financial statements are in draft form. They will go through our internal review process. We'll have a representation letter, that's the last piece of audit documentation signed by the town. Those financial statements do include what's referred to as an unmodified opinion. That is a clean opinion, that is the best that you can do. So we were able to determine that the financial information provided by the town can be relied upon by an outside user. We did not identify any material weaknesses, no significant deficiencies, no compliance findings, so no findings at all to report as a result of our audit. So really check all the boxes there as far as things that you're looking for as a result of the audit. So I'm happy to answer any questions now. My contact information along with Nick's is on that slide, so if you have any questions now, I'm happy to answer. If you think of anything in the future or throughout the year, we're happy to answer them at any point.
Thank you, Erica. Does anybody have any questions for Erica? I know we sat down, Jackie and I sat down with both Erica and Nick last week, and we went over this extensively. I appreciate what Drescher Malecki does for the town of Lewiston, and we're very happy with Drescher Malecki. I'll just say that. Anybody have any questions?
Not really a question, but you can come back anytime, give us news like this.
Right, I know, it's
really
easy to deliver good news.
I kind of would like to compliment Jackie and the supervisor for all the work you've done. You know, all these people are here tonight for a problem that's gonna cost a lot of money. And when we have competent people operating our budget, can't say we're gonna reach in our pocket full of enough money to solve it. But we're from a good starting point, a good healthy financial starting point where we're not in trouble. And there's a lot of communities that aren't like this. They are in trouble, so I'm kind of proud to be a member of this. Thank you.
Well, I will say sales tax has been surprising. When COVID hit, I know Jackie pulled back the reins on any purchase, any major purchase in the town. Well, basically since COVID, sales tax has been through the roof. I mean, every municipality's benefited from healthy sales tax, and a lot of it is internet sales. They said there's gonna be a decrease in sales tax in 2024, and it has not occurred. Keep buying. So, and we're very fortunate because the county shares sales tax with every municipality, so, that's a plus. And then we switched banks from Key Bank to Bank on Buffalo last year. We were getting 0 interest at the start of last year. We switched to Key Bank, or Bank on Buffalo, and they're paying us 4.25% interest on our money, which is unheard of, and I don't know how long that'll last, but we're taking advantage of it while we have it, so. Yeah, so the interest, I mean, for the first 8 years, I think or 7 years of me being here, we earned 0 interest. So, okay, thank you, Erica.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Erica, thank you.
Thank you, I think that'll do it.
That's it for me, thank you.
Okay, Councilman Jacoby?
No, I've said enough already. Thank you. I don't have anything.
Okay, Councilman Morel is not here. Councilman Myers?
Just a reminder, the Sanborn Historical Society has their annual farm festival coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday from 4. pancake breakfast on Saturday, 8 to 11, French toast, 8 to 11 on Sunday, and all sorts of festivities, car shows. Come on up to Stanmore.
Okay. Councilwoman White, anything?
Nope, just, shout out to Tim. This is like the first year in probably, I would say, 10 years or so, I have heard just a slew of kids in Kiwanis Park, and it is such a fabulous summer sound. So he has really grown that program and brought in a lot of kids to utilize that park and to utilize the programs that he offers. So thank you.
Thank you.
No complaints or anything?
Yeah,
All
no,
good,
I
all
love
good.
the sound. I just love the sound of them, especially when they're playing Foursquare. Love it.
Okay, resident statements. Sir, would you like to speak?
Yes.
Do me a favor, state your name and your address.
Mark Nicoletti, 4991 Oak Hill Drive. Regarding the drainage on Hillside, I wanted to applaud your efforts. Okay, I appreciate it. I think they're well overdue. I totally support what they're doing up there. And as far as the water department, the people that have been up there have been very courteous and helpful. So,
Highway department. We want to make sure the credit goes to the right.
highway department, water, highway department and the water department both.
Yeah.
Have been very cooperative. Okay, so
Well, I
I want to
appreciate
say thank you, but I also want to clarify one point. Oak Hill Homeowners Association does not own
I know.
or have any part of that piece of property.
I know. Otherwise, we'd be coming looking for a check from you.
I just want to put it on the
No.
record that
No.
it's not Oak Hill Homeowners Association, and we are fully in favor of what you're doing.
Yes, honestly, if that was today, there wouldn't be a certificate of occupancy until that drainage was done. Somebody dropped the ball. I'm not gonna point fingers, I don't know who did it. You know, it's 20, 30 years ago, we can only move forward and correct it.
And we, with things that were and weren't done back then, we still live with today in the Oak Hill Homeowners Association.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody else wish to speak? Yep, go ahead.
Bethany Elias here again. I have a question regarding the Oak Hill. Whose property is it?
It's private.
It's private property.
Yep.
My second question would be, why are you not going after the developer who is responsible for that?
Because he's deceased.
And why does it make the town responsible?
Because it's the responsible thing to do. The town dropped the ball. The town dropped the ball back then.
They did.
Right? If there was a developer to go after, I would go after him. But there isn't anybody. If you can come up with a solution there, the only solution is to do what's right and correct the situation.
Okay. My next comment, question would be that it would be for Tim Ritter and
Jeff.
Ritter. And Jeff, you had said that the bad flow, and I know nobody's being forced into getting them, but you had said that you were looking into a grant to be able to give the residents that $2,000.
The grant comes from the town of Lewiston. It's not like we're searching for a grant.
Okay, misunderstanding. So, but it's my understanding that it's gonna cost between $3,000 and $5,000 to have one of these installed, which will then fall back on the resident, as well as the monthly maintenance is the resident's responsibility, and they aren't 100% effective, and I guess that's where originally you were saying that was the cure.
Well, I don't think anything's gonna be a cure, okay, but, we can talk about it, one-on-one if you'd like. I can show you some of these, backflow preventers that do not cost as much as the plumber said, on TV, and there is, depending on your plumber and where the location of this would have to be, would be how much it would cost.
And would the town pay for that amount?
The town's gonna pay for $2,000.
Okay. So So the resident would have to pay above and beyond anything?
Yes.
And the monthly maintenance would be the resident's responsibility?
Yes, and the monthly maintenance is not anything that's too hard.
Well, it takes a
Something-
plumber to come in.
No,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't. You can do it yourself with the garden hose.
Okay.
But you gotta do it.
Correct.
Yeah, because I know somebody that had one in, and they admitted they hadn't done anything for years, and it was clogged up, so the flapper wouldn't work. And the gentleman who was here earlier is a plumber who I'm familiar with. He put one into his house in the last storm that worked. So, and again, you know, my aunt lives down the street from me.
Yes, she does.
She said, you're forcing these, I said, we're not forcing these people to get these backflow preventers.
I don't think anybody thought we were being
She
forced.
she did. So, no, I just wanted to make that clear. And, I mean, I know you said it's a town problem, it's not your problem. But you do have to take some responsibility to fix, it is your problem. Your basement's the one that's flooded, right? And.
With sewage.
Yeah, but today's code, your house wouldn't be allowed to be built the way it is. So with the floor drain and the like, I don't wanna argue the point, the backflow preventer is a low-hanging fruit to get something done to save people the hassle of having sewage in their basement. Believe me, if we can come up with a solution, our engineer says you can do this, it's gonna take care of the problem, we're all for it. I mean, you see this in the neighborhood, you know, Mr. Elias, I think you mentioned something to Chief Previtt. We had a conversation about cleaning out the catch basins down at Morgan and Lower River. We're replacing a catch basin in Morgan just west of 5th Street. We did some stuff on 5th Street in Morgan. We found a trench or a catch basin behind a residence. To be honest with you, we didn't even know existed. And I haven't been around that long. Jeff Cosgrove he didn't even know it was there. And it was piled with grass. So we cleaned the grass off of it, we changed the catch basin. So we are looking at ways to solve some of the problems.
Yeah, I understand that since all these storms have happened, you guys are really scrambling.
Yep.
We see it.
Yeah.
And we're thankful that you're looking into doing something. But like you said, the main solution is gonna cost a lot of money.
Yeah, oh, I know. That's why it's not gonna happen overnight. So if there's something we can do, you know, we clean the ditch behind your house.
Our ditch we always maintain.
Well,
Just
Pretty much, just
yeah,
behind our.
right. But we cleaned it out and it works. And I've told a couple people you can put your downspouts, right, you know, put the drainage in, get rid of the yard water. It's, you know, you say it's sewer, it's a combination of sewer and water.
And the
Because
rainwater
obviously
seeping into the-
today, nobody's sewer is backing up. So when you get 5 inches of rain, which your neighbor captured in a rain gauge, 5 inches of rain, even if we had a perfect system, there's gonna be problems on Morgan Drive with 5 inches of rain. And you just saw it in Toronto.
He wasn't my neighbor.
Well, down the road, Morgan Drive, a Morgan Drive neighborhood. So, and like I said, if we find something else, we're gonna and we can resolve it tomorrow, we will. So.
Well, I would hope that you would take into some consideration into what our group has suggested.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, upcoming board commission meetings, there's no work session for August. Zoning Board of Appeals is August 8th at 6 p.m. Historic Preservation is August 13th at 5:45 p.m. I always have to check with Mrs. Maggard because sometimes she gives me the head shake. There's no environmental commission meeting in August. Planning Board is August 15th at 6:30 p.m. And our regular town board meeting will be August 26th at 6 p.m. Also, there is a assessment board meeting, or an assessment meeting on the 29th in this room at 6 p.m. Okay, and there's also one in Porter. If you can't make the 29th, you can go to Porter on the 24th, 6 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay. And this is a joint venture between the town of Lewiston and the town of Porter, so you'll get the same information at the Porter meeting that you'll get at this meeting here if you can't make this meeting here. So, with that, I will ask for a motion to go to executive session to consult with an attorney, and there will be no action taken on that or any more action at the meeting afterwards. So,
As presented.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you. This is great. It's good. It's good.